It's Will Shawn Podcast. The internet cried out for 2 more blowhards, and they courageously answered that call. Armed with the weapon of wit, each week they're joined by guests to discuss movies, television, pop culture, and anything else that's pissing them off. Take it away, boys.
I'm Will Link.
And I'm Sean David.
And this is Will Shawn Podcast.
With a stunning late game comeback. How you doing, Will?
I'm so sick to my stomach.
From?
The Super Bowl.
The game? I mean, it was really crushing. I know you're a Falcons fan.
Yeah, I know. I ate everything.
Yes.
I mean, you witnessed it.
You had so many bones on your plate, it looked like Scar's like cave from The Lion King.
I ate so many chicken wings, and then I just keep eating that dip.
Yeah?
I'm disgusted.
Well, at least you were putting you were putting the hot dogs in a blanket into the onion dip.
No, we were putting into the ranch dip.
Oh, okay.
It's a big difference.
All right, fine. But you did eat all the food.
Yeah, I ate everything, and then, wouldn't you know it, I'm exhausted because I was up all night with a tummy ache.
Well, next year you should get some Pepto-Bismol and stop bitching.
Yeah, if there had been a Pepto ad during the game, I would have been like, shit,
all we got was lumber for walls.
Yeah, a lot of lumber ads about immigrants.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that later. What's going on in the world of Will Shawn Podcast?
Want to continue to thank all of our listeners. Make sure you have subscribed to us on iTunes. Leave us a star rating. Make a nice comment, not a shitty comment. And follow us on or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Former guest of the podcast, let's see, Elia Reza is going to be on the new show Legion.
Yeah, I'm
starting
excited.
Starting FX this week.
I'm excited for that show. I'm excited to see her on it.
Jessie Conweiler is currently in Poland with the skinny, so didn't quite get the full scoop on that.
Wasn't she supposed to come back on the show?
Still working on it. Every time I talk to her, she's in a different country.
She was always available. Now she's always unavailable.
Well, that's how it goes.
I guess today he's available.
Yeah. Drop of a hat.
Yeah, I appreciate that. He's one of the good ones.
Okay. And Dylan Brody is going to be...
He's got a new comedy special. He's going to come on here to talk about it probably sometime in March.
No, this is before or after he does Marin?
It's going to be after he does Marin. He's doing Marin, then he's doing us.
Yeah.
So that's a little... That's the way it should be, actually.
That's his trajectory.
So, yeah.
There are so many jokes here, but I'm waiting to be introduced like a good boy.
Oh, not like the last 4 times you've been on.
Who is our sponsor this week?
Blue Aprons, because white ones don't hide the bloodstains quite as well.
Yeah, that's why I have a blue apron. Anyway, on the show today, it was the Super Bowl. It was a while ago by the time you listened to this, but still, we're going to discuss it. Lady Gaga performed at the Super Bowl.
She also jumped to her death.
We're going to discuss that and how we'll never see her again because she died. And Taylor Swift did not perform at the Super Bowl. But I have some thoughts about some people who've given her some shit that I don't quite agree with. I'm going to come to the defense of Taylor Swift. But first, you heard him a second ago. One of our all-time favorite guests is here, Stephen Brandon, and he has brought along with us one of the stars of the Game of Thrones, the musical, Alex Lewis.
Hey.
And hey, respectively. I'm the second person that was introduced and the second person to talk.
Did I refer to you as Alex Ross, by the way?
I don't
Alex,
think so.
Isn't Alex
Okay.
Ross the painter for DC Comics? And
No, Alex Ross is the music critic for The New Yorker.
Oh, okay.
That's not me either.
Guys, this is my 5th time on Will Shawn Podcast.
Yeah.
Am I in the 5 Timers Club now?
Yeah.
Do
Yes,
I
you
get
are.
a special robe and I get to hang out
Alec
with Paul
Baldwin
Simon
and Steve Martin are in the other
Baldwin?
room. Yeah.
You get to hang out with Alex Stein.
Alex
You
Stein
and
is...
Alex
We're the
Stein.
only 2 members of the 5 Timers Club.
Yeah.
You're the Steve Martin to his Alec Baldwin.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Actually, he'd be more of the Paul Simon, sorry. Neil Simon did not host 5 times.
Yeah. It's been a long day. So, Stephen, thank you for coming back. Alex, thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, we know your story, Stephen. We've heard it 4 times before.
Yes, you heard it in episode 71, 132, 182, and 229.
And we'll hear it again in whatever episode takes place after the Emmys this year.
Because I'll be back for my 3rd time as the post-Emmy guest.
But, Alex, we want to get your story.
Oh, boy.
Before we dive into Game of Thrones, the musical, I want to hear your origin story. Where are you from? How did you find yourself here?
Okay, so I grew up in just a little town called Calabasas, California.
I'm familiar with it.
Heard of it? Oh, how are you familiar with it?
Because I grew up in a little village called Valley Village.
Oh,
Yes.
you don't say. You're
do
not
say.
far from Valley Village.
I am not far from Valley
haven't
Village.
gone far.
I literally could see my house from here.
Really?
No, not quite. I gotta get up on the roof.
Okay, well.
But so you came all the way from Calabasas.
I did. Well, no, I don't actually live there anymore. I actually live in Valley Village as well.
Look at that.
Yeah, I grew up in Calabasas. My father is still a television producer. He produces a show called Goliath currently.
Oh, okay. You mean Golden Globe winning Goliath?
I do the same, yes, with Billy Bob Thornton. And when I was young, I wanted to be an actor, and he asked me not to.
He said, anything else, please?
Yeah,
I
pretty
feel
much.
like that's a similar theme we hear here on the show. People like, and I wanted to be an actor, and they were like, no, please don't do it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened.
And
Do you guys remember a television show called Parker Lewis Can't Lose?
I do very much
I
remember
do,
Parker Lewis.
yeah.
So if you remember
With Corin
that,
Nemec.
yes,
Yes.
I don't know if you guys watched it, but
I watch it religiously.
Okay, sure. So the reation why it's called Parker Lewis is actually because my father's last name is Lewis.
Okay.
My dad is best friends with the showrunner of that, and he was the producer of that show.
oh wow.
And
So you're sitting here with the Lewis of Parker Lewis,
One
or
of
the offspring.
One of the best days of my life was they were filming at Sherman Oaks Park, or the park at Sherman and Hazeltine with the castle.
Sure.
And we went there and we got to meet the cast. And,
Oh, no way.
And we saw Jerry with his big freaking
The
coat.
so I've got some really funny. Let me just address everything. First of all, Marty Lewis, named after me because my name was originally going to be Marty.
Okay.
I played baby Parker Lewis when I was a little
shit.
baby, and on top of all that, Jerry
Yeah.
is now a lawyer that I have used various times to get. Out of
I knew
speeding
this
tickets.
that he became an attorney.
Yeah, he's gotten me out of.
So he
many
opened his
speeding
trench
tickets.
coat. There was a strange noise, and he got you out of the ticket.
That's right.
One last thing before we move on from this: what? No DVDs, no Blu-ray. What's?
It's on DVD.
Is
Yeah,
it?
it is.
Yeah.
It is on DVD.
How do
You
I
can
not-
hear Alex's dad do commentary on
You-
the pilot episode.
You know how you didn't know this? Because you probably never looked.
I think I did years ago. They were like on VHS tapes, and then
I was probably, and then you just gave up forever.
it's true.
You tried once, like in 1999. Is
Yeah.
it on DVD?
And I remember I had a big,
Not yet.
big crush on Parker's sister.
We'll,
sure.
we'll synchronize our watches later, and I'll tell you when the DVDs are available.
Sounds good.
So Alex, it seems to me, so your father was like, no, don't get into business, but he put you in Parker Lewis when you were a baby. You were baby Lewis, so this is all his fault.
Well,
he's a hypocrite.
yeah, no.
Play Jerry in a remake of Parker Lewis Can't Lose.
I've gotten that. My
Yeah.
dad thought that I would grow up and look exactly like Jerry. But what ended up happening ultimately was he sort of like we went and saw Wicked one day, and he said, "Oh, you know what? You could do that." Like there was this curly-haired guy playing the Tin Man, like the guy
Yeah.
that turns into the Tin Man. He said, "You could do this. Yeah, go ahead. That's fine. Try." So
That's all it took.
pretty
Try,
much.
fail.
He saw some guy on stage. Well, that looks like my son.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. It was so bizarre.
So okay, so you.
So from there, sorry, I probably shouldn't have clanked that.
Oh, that's okay.
From there, my dad was like, "I'm not going to pay for you to go to college if you want to be an actor because I'm a producer, and that's bullshit. Like, nobody cares about any of that." So I started taking classes at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, and I went through the whole curriculum there. What ended up happening, and I was booking some minor TV work, like I've been on Dexter, I've been on Shameless, Weeds.
Well, now you mentioned you saw Wicked.
Uh-huh.
And you were in Game of Thrones, the musical. Did you always have a
Lost
love
musical.
of musical theater?
Yes. So here's the thing. I've been a musical person since I was a child. I actually did. You know, my dad didn't want me to be an actor, but he did put me in community theater. Like I was doing musicals since the age of 6. I've been in like 25 musicals.
It sounds a little like mixed messages.
It was mixed messages, and I loved doing musical theater. So when I was studying at UCB, what ended up happening was
Don't you dare get to become an actor in 5, 6, 7,
Yeah,
8.
exactly. Yes. Now go get the part of the Tin Man, which actually I did play the Tin Man. So, but it was in Wizard of Oz. Not
It
Wicked.
wasn't in The Wiz?
It was the Wiz. It was totally the Wiz.
Really? You were in a production of
Slide some oil to me.
I was the Tin Man in
In
the
a race-blind
Wiz.
casting
Yeah.
of The Wiz?
Well, I grew up in Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
Like,
You know what, though? In fairness, I remember a good friend of mine, Darren. He was in a production of The Wiz, and it was everyone. It was at Comac High School on Long Island. Everyone was white except the lead girl. So this was clearly a case of like, oh, we got this one really talented black girl. We'll make her Dorothy, and let's put a bunch of white people.
Weirdest Porgy and Bess ever.
That's so funny.
So, but you do a lot of, like, we were watching some of your videos. You do a lot of videos that pop up on, like, Funny or Die, College Humor, BuzzFeed.
Yeah. So, actually, it's funny you should mention that, because when I was taking classes at UCB, what ended up happening... Oh, God. Excuse me, I have to clear my throat. When I was taking classes at UCB, they had a musical improv class, so I started doing that, which got me into comedic songwriting.
Okay.
And what ended up happening was I was just making like shorts on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/IHadAThumbtack at the time, and while I was doing that, I always thought it would be really cool to make like a comedic song. I was probably like 19 or 20 at this time, and there was a little known musical comedian named Rachel Bloom, which you might have heard of, and she put out a music video called "Fuck Me, Ray Bradbury."
Yep.
And I loved it. I thought it was so great, and I wanted to make my own. So I ended up making a song called "Hermione, Wait for Me" with a friend of mine named Tom Payton.
Okay.
Nice.
And we wrote the sort of... It was almost like... it even sort of rhymes with "Fuck Me, Ray Bradbury." I was just a huge fan of Rachel Bloom and wanted to do my own thing. So I made this video... And what ended up happening was, while I was in that musical improv class, my teacher, Eliza Skinner, who now writes for the James Corden Show, I sent it to her and said, hey, do you have any advice for me on what I should do with this? And she was like, oh, you know what? Let me send this to somebody I know at Funny or Die. So they sent it to Funny or Die, and Funny or Die put it in a contest. And basically the deal is, if it wins the contest, like if enough people vote for it, then you get to be featured on the front page of Funny or Die.
Okay.
So it was up against like a Britannic sketch. I don't know if you know who Britannic is, but they're two writers for Saturday Night Live now. Okay. And like it was up against a pretty...
But you beat them all, didn't you?
I did. I beat them by like a 90% margin.
Fix.
Well, I did ask all my friends to vote like all the time, but I feel like they couldn't have been the only... Like, couldn't have...
Everybody had to have done that. You just had better friends. Their friends shit
It's
people.
a cheaper equivalent of... it's a cheaper equivalent of a bringer show.
That's exactly what it was. And
just click this 2 seconds. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for any money.
Yeah. No, it's so easy. Just do it. And I would get so mad at my friends who didn't. But... So it won, and it got featured on the homepage. And at the time, I was dating this girl, and we went out on...
Not Rachel Bloom.
It was not Rachel Bloom. She's a friend now. We actually... I'm in, like, a bunch of her videos, and I got to sing... of course, she's the star of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. There's a song in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend in the pilot that I got to sing on.
Okay.
I forget what the name of the track is, but it's the big group number, like, and also, as it happened, just by chance, if you know that song.
Yes.
That's all I remember. I watched the show. It's just been so long. So I won the contest, got featured on Funny or Die, and then while that was happening, actually, I think right before it got featured on Funny or Die, I got dumped by this girl who, like, we'd gone out on 4 dates. It was going really well, and I was like, again, I was super young. It was probably like 2021. I hadn't been dumped by too many people.
Humble brag.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a big deal. Trust me, I have more than made up for it at this point. I'm 26 now. So she dumps me. She says that she just wants to be friends. Classic, nice guy situation. And I was super butthurt and made a song called "Let's Just Be Friends." And then I sent that to Eliza, and she was like, "This is really good. Let me," it took like probably a month to make that video or so. And only 2 days of filming. It was like $1,000 budget. And my good buddy Ilya Polyakov directed it. And we made the video. And I sent it to her, and she sent it to someone she knew at College Humor. College Humor is actually, and I don't know if this is still the case, but they're much bigger than Funny or Die at this point. It might still be true, too.
Two boys from Milken started that, didn't they?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure.
Was that Jake and Amir?
Yeah. They went to Milken. Okay.
No way. Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I did used to see them hanging out at the Topanga Mall, so maybe. So she sent it to College Humor. And College Humor reached out and said, hey, this is really good. We like it. We're not gonna put it on the front page or anything, but we will keep it as like basically what it was at the time. If you watched a video, it would like feature something on the side of the screen. If you like this,
So
you might
this
like
was
something
one
else.
of the featured videos.
Yeah, because College Humor doesn't actually, and this might also not be true anymore, but at the time, you couldn't just upload something to College Humor. Like, you had to work there or know something.
It wasn't like YouTube or any
or
any
Funny or
asshole
Die.
could put. Right.
Funny or Die does.
A little more cultivated.
Right. So
It's like the Groundlings.
yeah, it's like the Groundlings. So yeah, you have to audition to get it. So they shared the video, and then I guess they didn't have anything to put on the front page that morning, so they were like, "Hey, you know what? We actually are going to put it on the front page," which I freaked out. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm on the cover of College Humor!" So Let's Just Be Friends went out on that, and then another website called Smosh picked it up, and then a bunch of other like. Sports Illustrated picked it up.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. They like had this weird feature at the time where they would feature one music video a day. And like overnight it got 300,000 views. And it just like it was crazy.
Well, then you did end up on the alt-right Reddit board, so things got a little weird real
Did
fast.
I really?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
You're really big in conservative media.
Yeah.
Trump loves your stuff.
well, he probably would like Let's Just Be Friends, to be fair. Like he probably would like that song, unfortunately.
So let me ask, so all these videos, you're building this up, you're going through the comedic training and circuit here in Los Angeles, building contacts. How did you meet up with this guy here?
So Steven and I, we met because I auditioned for Lost, the musical.
Yes.
I remember Lost the musical.
Yes, that was my
Did you see
original show.
Of course.
I
was in it.
He was a sponsor. He was a
Yeah, I
talent.
sponsored Lost. I
Kickstarter.
Sponsored, yeah.
Kickstarter.
Like, I was the sponsor. It
I
was
mean,
all
I didn't
me.
go through all the sponsors and like introduce myself.
Loved Lost so much, and I have given to barely any Kickstarters ever. But that one, the second Steven had come on and talked about it, like the second we were done, I gave to that one.
Hilarious.
Because I'm a huge Lost fan.
I donated my time.
Alex had many different wigs and played many different characters in that show.
I think we figured out that I played like 9 different characters,
And they all died.
And no, 7 of them died.
7 of them died.
7.
So who were some of the big ones you played?
I played Charlie. I played Daniel Faraday. Daniel Faraday was my favorite.
I could see that.
I hate Daniel Faraday on the show, but I loved playing him, and I'll explain why in a second. I played Charles Widmore. I played J.J. Abrams.
That was good. That was a good little unexpected twist.
He was Al Jacob.
Marianne and his wife.
Yes, I played Marion and his wife.
And the rest.
The rest.
But I liked playing Daniel Faraday the best because I got to do this really stupid character, basically making fun of the actor's performance. I forget the guy's name.
Jeremy Davies.
Jeremy Davies, that's right. I made fun of him because I could not stand his performance on the show. And one night, the actual Charlotte from Lost came.
Rebecca Mader.
And during the show, I start screaming about how Charlotte dies at one point in the show. So when she came, I jumped into the audience, and I did it right in her face, and it was really exciting.
That's amazing.
It was great.
What's a Charlotte?
Sean was not a Lost fan.
It's the opposite of a Miranda.
Okay.
So he auditioned and then
Basically, he
you put him in the
auditioned
show?
and he was great, and he became a staple of the show. And Alex then was working for BuzzFeed, doing a lot of videos.
Yeah, I'm in a...
I saw you in a video
Yes.
with him, Steve.
about musical theater.
Yeah.
And also the thoughts on a handshake snuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
I watched that too.
Lots of BuzzFeed videos. There's a lot of. Well, what's the other one we did about Jews celebrating Christmas?
That's right.
Wait a second. Hold on. When did that video come out?
Jews celebrating Christmas?
Yeah.
It wasn't Jews celebrating Christmas. It was Jews decorate a Christmas tree for the first time. And it came out...
We need to talk offline because I think my friend was in that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Have it all, Ash?
We'll talk
offline.
We'll talk offline.
Okay.
All right.
I'll shut up. Sorry.
Just dropping names now.
But yeah, and also in regards to BuzzFeed, I am currently in a comedy band with one of the Try Guys. His name is Keith Habersberger. We play shows around Los Angeles. We just opened for Garfunkel and Oates. if you know
Nice.
the name.
Of course.
You've heard of them.
Heard of them. Yeah, we got to open for them. That was super fun.
What's the band called, Alex?
It's called Lewberger. Lewbe. A lot of people confuse that. It is not after the food. It is after my partner, who is named Keith Habersberger, and my last name Lewis. Lou Berger, you get it.
Oh, look, I do get it.
Like the American Flight of the Conchords.
We like to call ourselves that, even though there kind of already was Tenacious D.
So let me ask you this, Steven. So let's talk about Game of Thrones, the musical. When you decided you wanted to do this, did you look at Alex and say, you have to be in this, you have to be...
Actually, yes, Alex was one of the original people singing on the original scratch tracks that
I
we
sort
had.
of wrote one of the songs.
Yeah.
I
We had a
wrote
few
one
things
of the
because we went to
songs.
Comic-Con early to promote the show, and we gathered up a few of our musically inclined, talented friends. So Alex has been with the production from the very beginning. We didn't know what role he was going to settle into. We had you in a different role for a while.
Yeah, originally I was going to be Bran, Joffrey, Viserys. But now
That's a lot of blonde wigs for you to put on.
Yes.
Yeah, so they decided to just settle on Robb because I have the same hair as him.
Got it.
basically.
Well, actually, his voice was more suited for the rock and roll stuff we're doing for Robb Stark. But this show, you don't actually have to change, whereas in Lost the Musical, you have to change 9
I
times.
don't. My hair is very, very similar to that. Oh God, I don't remember the actor's name.
He's
I
on,
forgot.
what's it called now? What's his new show?
Maddo? Somebody Maddo?
Is he on Once Upon a Time now?
No, it's
No.
the guy who played Robb Stark. He's on a new
Yeah,
show.
I know.
You know,
all the
after the-
listeners are screaming at us now.
After
I
the
play Robb Stark. I didn't. They're not. No.
after the Red Wedding, I totally forgot everything about the actor.
Yeah, sure.
So, were you a fan of Game of Thrones?
I am. I've seen every episode.
Now, let me ask this, Steven. Are there a lot of people involved in the production who don't watch Game of Thrones?
He's on the
Or is-
Medici show on Netflix.
Medici.
Or is everybody...
You know what? A few of people in the show had to catch up because they didn't want to get spoiled.
There's some people in the cast that still have not seen the whole show.
Yes.
But for the purposes of this show, how much, unlike the Lost musical where you had to have seen all of it,
This is just season 1, book
Right.
1. So this is a 90-minute musical. It's 10 hours of material. So if you come see our musical, we're saving you 8.5 hours.
There you go. Don't see season 1. And let's face it, season 1 of Game of Thrones was good, but things really get going in season 2. So if you've never seen Game of Thrones, come see Game of Thrones the musical, then go home, start watching season 2.
Exactly.
Oh, that's how that was
You're
designed
lonely
to
on a
work.
Sunday night now. There's nothing on HBO. Sorry, girls. Hashtag girls. So come watch our musical, then catch up season 2 till 6, and by the time you finish that, season 7 will be debuting.
You really got girls there. You nailed them.
Oh, yeah.
Lena
That's it.
Dunham is
You know what? She's
seething right
canceling
now.
the show. She's done. She's packing
Yeah,
it up.
that's it.
She's gonna come here and yell at you because you somehow did something sexist in that. Anyway,
So what was the process, though, of getting the show mounted? Like, of starting this? I mean, you had already had the Lost the musical experience, so was there a lot to... I'm assuming you learned a lot in that
Well, yeah, there were
experience.
mistakes to learn from. The big process with this musical was the original music. Finding Aaron Stegman and Ace Marrero, who did Once Upon a Time, the rock opera, and teaming up with them to become our music producers. Stephen Christopher Parker and I, who co-wrote the book, we wrote the lyrics as well. We gave it to them. They came up with the original tunes. We mixed and matched. Aaron came up with some new lyrics as well. And then just putting together what's now 12 songs, original songs. It was 13 or 14 at one stage. There's a couple of bonus tracks which will be available on the CD in the lobby.
So there's going to be merch?
Well, there's going to be merch. Because we are an unauthorized parody and it's original music, we can do CDs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you're at... and this is at the Maca...
Yes, it's the Matcha.
Matcha, is that how you
it's
say it?
pronounced the Matcha. I like to think of it as the Macho Man Theater.
Okay.
It was
he
originally...
does. He says that incessantly.
Yeah, it was originally a Globe Playhouse Shakespeare Theatre. It's in Westeros, Hollywood. Actually, it's on Kings Road. How about that?
it's a nice theater.
yeah, it's very nice.
I've
And-
done some shows there.
And it's very medieval-like, so it kind of suits the purposes of Game of Thrones. And we have 2 casts, actually. We have a Friday night, Saturday matinee cast, which includes Alex. Then we have a Saturday night, Sunday matinee cast. Because the show's on February to April, there's pilot season. Alex
So-
is already taking shows off to go tour
So-
with Lou Berger, so we have people doubling up for every role.
So how many people do you have in this cast, then?
14 per cast. So we got 28 altogether.
Wow. And is there a lot of... How many people are doubling up on roles? Is
Everybody.
it a lot of...
Well, I think like the Ned and Catelyn and Ari the Sansa, the Stark family stays themselves, but Hodor also plays King Robert, also plays Samwell Tarly, also plays a Khal warrior. Like we said, Joffrey plays Bran, plays Viserys. There's a lot of mixed matching out there.
It just occurred to me that I don't think the show I'm going to, you will
I wasn't
be
going to
in.
say it out loud.
Oh no! Well, yeah, it's Saturday night.
When you buy a ticket to the Saturday night Sunday show, it says on it, come back to the Friday night show for half price.
Oh,
So
shit.
you can come
So
back
will
and
you
see
be
it
spending
again.
your entire spring just going to performances?
I just might.
Well, there are a lot of musicals out there, a lot of parodies, especially like at the Rockwell, and people find the actor they like and go back to see that person or want to see their counterpart because not everyone's the same size. We have different costumes every night. Different jokes get played differently.
Yeah, I play Rob very differently than my counterpart Tyler.
That has really blown up, though, these days, because the Rockwell, it seems like everyone's always inviting me to something at the Rockwell.
Home Alone the musical, Mean Girls the musical.
Yeah, I just got invited to Mean Girls the musical, and you know what I said? No, I'm not going. I'm going to Game of Thrones the musical.
Hey now.
Well, here's the real question that our listeners want to know. What's the Sophie Turner invite situation like?
The invite is out there. Actually, our stage manager is quite good friends with the actor who plays Hodor.
Okay.
And he is a
The
DJ.
Scottish DJ, yeah.
And he's going to be in Vegas in March, and then if he comes to LA, I think he'll be coming to see our show.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I mean, that was the cool thing with, like, I remember the night I went to Lost the Musical, like, Bernard was in the audience.
Yeah, there were a good amount of actors from Lost.
A lot of people.
The only problem is right now they're shooting, and they're all shooting in England, Ireland, Scotland, so no one's really in LA
But on
currently.
the plus side, so many people from season 1 are dead now. Maybe you can get some of them. They're not working right now.
That's
What about
true.
Sean Bean?
Is he in America right now?
don't know.
He's probably getting killed off on
Yeah,
another
I'm sure
show
he's
as we
getting killed
speak.
off on something.
Yeah.
I gotta ask this.
Yes.
Tyrion
Yes.
in the show.
Yes.
I mean, do you have a little person?
I searched high and, pardon the pun, low for actual little people. But let me tell you, they're all too professional to do a musical. They're actually all working actors, working as stand-ins or on TV shows. And I spoke to a couple, and a lot of them actually were not singers. I spoke to a few little people actors, and they were not really comfortable doing the singing
You're looking
stuff.
for a really narrow Venn diagram. I was going to say.
Yeah, I know. It's very hard because especially musical theater doesn't pay as much as regular work, and they're working all the time. But we have two great guys. They're both about 5 foot, playing Tyrion, and, they have their show-stopping number, and they're fantastic.
Okay, that's great. And it seems like, so what's the reaction been so far? Are people getting really excited for it? Are you getting a lot of good feedback?
Oh, yeah, I don't really have to do much to sell the show. Do you like Game of Thrones? Yes. Do you like music? Come and see our musical.
I saw the photo you posted online of you literally building the Iron Throne.
We made our own Iron Throne.
Yeah, it's great. It looks
You're
so
like
good.
going to Home Depot to literally, like, what is it? Like going to
Yeah,
Home
you
Depot
get a
to
lawn chair and you get a bunch of silver pipes and then you cut them up together and make them sharp.
Well, you know what? I mean, everyone I mention this to is very interested. Like, people I've mentioned it to.
And I got to tell you, the songs are very catchy. I don't know if you could have dropped something in, but I can give you some link to some
Oh,
drops.
if you send us a song, we could drop a little.
yeah, well,
I got a month before I got to put this episode up. No, just kidding.
There's a promo out there right now which gives you some of the shows, and here it is.
Hello from Winterfell, up here it's cold as hell.
Hide your kids and lock up your dragons because theater is coming. From the producers of Lost the Musical and Once Upon a Time, the rock opera, comes Game of Thrones, the musical.
Damn, it's good to be me.
This parody show is filled with murder, war, betrayal, and did we mention love?
It's a Dracula song.
This show will have your toes tapping and hands clapping, providing you still have both hands. Don't wait for us to hold the door. Get your tickets now at gotthemusical.com. Now playing in Westeros, Hollywood.
Because you win or you die.
Wasn't that great?
That was great.
That gives you a little bit of a
that
sample. And it's
Synergy.
Unbelievable that you.
And I'll bet I sounded great in that.
No, but there's the Dothraki love song. There's Tyrion sings a song called "You Can't Kill Me" because they're never going to kill Tyrion. Let's face it.
Yeah. If they ever do on the show, it'll be like in one of the last
Season 8.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, our fun thing about our show is that George R.R. Martin is in the show. He plays the narrator. He sits up.
Is he watching a Jets game on? Well,
Basically, he has an office and he watches the show from there, and he has his computer, but he doesn't type one word the entire show. And he, does a bit of exposition, and the characters play with him, and so that's another fun.
If you've ever seen Into the Woods, he's sort of the narrator.
Okay.
It's like a similar situation.
Into the North.
There you go.
We just thought of another musical today. Westeros Side Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be. Oh.
Yeah, it's too late. It's over.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't want to get ahead of this because we haven't seen Game of Thrones, the musical, yet. We have people are getting their tickets now. But
Turn off this episode. Go buy your tickets.
what's next? What's next, Steven? I mean, you did Lost, you did Game of Thrones.
I want to tour Game of Thrones. You know, it is hard with 14 people, but I want to go to San Diego and San Francisco and then take.
Can
it
you
to
mount it
London
at
and whatnot.
Comic-Con?
It's true. Yeah, we have a theater that's interested. I just don't know how to house 14 people at Comic Con right now.
Right.
Are you finding that people? Well, I mean, I guess people are more into the Game of Thrones musical coming out right now because Game of Thrones on the air more than like the Lost.
Yes,
musical.
Lost was had to go back, but because it's such in the zeitgeist and winter is coming, people are really into it as we speak. So I've gotten 2 more years to do this show.
And then Stranger Things, the musical.
Ooh,
yeah,
you got
exactly.
my attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, you can get this thing out on the road.
That would be the plan. If you all go to gotthemusical.com and buy your tickets, then I can take it on the road and visit your families.
So listen, assholes. You know you want to see this musical. You're in the LA area. You know you want to see it. I'm going to see it. My fucking mother is going to see it. Everyone's going to see Game of Thrones the musical. That's gotthemusical.com. Go there now. Buy your tickets. There's a link on our Facebook page for this, so you have no excuse that you haven't already bought them. In the interim, when they're done buying their tickets, Alex, where can people find you?
Sure. Well, you can find anything that's just me related at I Ate a Thumbtack. That's the number 8, a thumbtack. That's my Twitter, my Instagram.
I ate a thumbtack.
Yep, it is a Ralph Wiggum quote. You can find me at youtube.com/I Ate a Thumbtack. And then my comedy band, which is actually going to be doing some away shows in April.
So we call that being on the road?
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit. We're going to be on the road. We're also going to be filming some music videos. We are Lewberger. That's LEWBERGER, and you can find us at Instagram, LewbergerMusic.com. Wait, hold on.
.gov.
No, it's so annoying.
EDU.
Somebody has Lewberger.com and they're not using it. But I think it's just wait. Let me just
Who
look
the
it up.
fuck got Lewberger.com?
I don't know. It drives me
chef.
goddamn nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
While he's looking at that, Steven, I mean, everyone who listens to this podcast is clearly already following you, but
For those just joining us now, at StephenB29 on Twitter or StephenB29B on Instagram, but more importantly, at GOT the Musical everywhere.
Also on Instagram and on Twitter?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
It is LewbergerComedy.com.
There you go.
That is our website. You can check out all our videos there. We've done stuff on BuzzFeed. We've done stuff. We've done stuff all over the place. We've done stuff. on
Breitbart,
Nerdist.
CNN.
Yeah,
you're on it.
Breitbart. We're huge. Our
Big with
Disney,
InfoWars.
Our Disney princess music video is all over Breitbart.
and once again, this Game of Thrones the musical, gotthemusical.com. There are shows every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, and a matinee Saturdays at 4 as well.
Starting this Friday, February 10th, going for quite a while, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is it a set run?
There's 5 weeks. There's possible for another 5-week extension, and there's possible for another 5-week extension.
And we heard
after
that if you purchase a ticket, you will get a comp to Hamilton, the musical, when it comes to the Pantages later this year.
I hear that Lin-Manuel Miranda is actually going to take over the role of George R.R. Martin.
Well, they go instead of the Schuyler sisters, the Stark sisters.
Indeed. Alternative facts, hashtag.
Okay. So, Steven. Mm-hmm. You're yesterday.
You're a man of sport.
I mean, it'll have been about a week when this comes up, but yesterday, in reality here, was the greatest of all American holidays, Super Bowl Sunday. As a non-American, do you get into the Super Bowl?
I get into the social aspect of the Super Bowl. I've been in LA 9 years now, and it took me 3 or 4 to understand what the hell I was watching
Why is
on a
it so
Sunday.
quiet? Yeah, why is it so quiet this Sunday? Where's everyone?
Yeah. No, but I can't see the ball. I don't know where it is. Once they snap and it goes, I'm like, is that the quarterback? Is it? Oh, they faked it out. Where's the ball? It took me so long to pinpoint and look and see where it was, what was going on.
Although you were all able to figure out what's going on in a rugby scrum.
That I know. That I know. But no, Super Bowl Sunday is a great day at my friend Todd's house, and we always go there and check it out. And there's lots of food and everything like that. And we really, we're really there to watch the commercials.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's just the social aspect. You get together with people, eat shitty food.
Yeah, I don't
drink.
think anyone's favorite team from us was there, and it's like I was kind of rooting for the Falcons because the Patriots have already had it 4 times.
Well, yeah,
let's share the wealth, everybody.
Yeah, and everybody like hates Tom Brady and the Kraft family. Everyone at the Super Bowl party I was at was rooting for the Falcons, with the exception of one asshole. Guess who that was?
You gotta have. What's God without Satan?
There's always got to be one.
Well, here's okay, and not to rehash the game because it'll be old news by then, but the one interesting side plot that was going on was the way the Falcons' dominant first half and quick turnaround the second half was being read as an analogy, as a an allegory.
Oh, yeah.
I
Everyone
thought that was so dumb. I mean, I know that I get it. I know the team is endorsed by Trump, but it's just, I don't know. It's football. Can we?
But people were just making all the jokes. I guess Comey just released some more emails. Oh, I guess the refs should have campaigned more in Wisconsin. Like
I love that the Falcons won the popular vote.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one I did like.
And just let's be a little in perspective here. New England voted for Hillary. Let's go see how Georgia did when it came to the election. Let's put things in a little perspective here.
But I bet Atlanta.
Yeah, but no one. But
went
it's
for
like
Hillary.
they're the team for the state of Georgia. It's also interesting that the Falcons historically don't really have a fan base outside of like their one state, whereas the Patriots are beloved through the whole New England.
But you get that with any team that.
No, but there's some
wins.
teams that but there's some
Like any time, like there are Dallas
Cowboys
Cowboy fans
and Steelers
all
fans.
over this country,
And Steelers
There are-
fans.
In baseball, there are New York Yankee fans all over this country. By the way, I'm a New York Yankee fan.
I couldn't tell.
And the thing is, I know that's like Trump's favorite baseball team, and it kills me. I'd see him at the games. I'd see Trump at the games.
I don't know. You can't run your life by that, though. Like, that's like saying, Trump wears shoes. I wear shoes.
Trump wears shoes
I
now?
know. Yeah, he does.
Trump can't go to any games after 6:30 p.m. because he's in bed now.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing shoes tomorrow.
Somebody said they were trying to discredit the point. This article came out about Trump, about him wearing a bathrobe every day, and I saw someone write, "Don't tell me he doesn't wear a bathrobe. The man lives in hotels."
Okay, let's get away from Trump for a second though. But Alex, you a football fan?
I am not the biggest football fan, but I am a Super Bowl. I like watching the Super Bowl.
Well,
The spectacle of it all.
Yeah.
Let me ask both of you guys though, because it was a particularly exciting
It
Super
was.
Bowl.
I couldn't believe it.
Did you find yourself like as it went on, just like completely
Yes.
more invested than you normally would be?
Absolutely.
Because of that?
Once the fourth quarter started, because they weren't. Atlanta was going to win in the fourth quarter.
I was
like,
checked
this
out
is-
by like halftime. Like, this game's over. I
Yeah.
was so checked out on the game.
You were the only one, by the way, who was like, well, the Patriots lost. Everyone else who was rooting for the Falcons were like, no, the Patriots will probably come back in this game.
I was like, the Falcons have this. This is their game, and this is why I don't like sports.
Yeah.
It's boring
Yeah.
most of the time. But it wasn't
It turned out to be
boring.
one of the greatest football games of all time.
Yeah.
But again, it's just the last 15 minutes or so. So, like, I feel in any football match, you just watch the last.
Not really,
15
because
minutes, even
the
basketball
game
too.
turned because of the accretion of like the whole. They just got tired, and the Patriots just wore them down over time, and so.
Well, you see a storyline unfolding if you watch the whole game. But what you said about basketball, I think, is almost definitely true. Maybe the most exciting thing in sports is like the last 5 minutes of a basketball game. But like, luckily basketball's a fast-moving game anyway. But yeah, it's like really at the end where you.
And, like basketball and even Australian rugby, the players are on the field or the court a long time doing a lot of stuff, working out. In American gridiron and whatnot, the kicker does the kicking and the thrower does the thrower and the catcher does the catching, and like everyone else, just you're on the bench the whole time.
We all know that the most exciting part of any game is the last wickets during the final innings of a 3-day cricket test match.
Too true.
Yeah.
Or any other things about the game?
I have a
itself
question.
you wanna- Yes.
So, I don't know if it was during the. I don't know if it was. It was either the score where they like Not either where they just tied them, or where where the ball did not seem to. That touchdown was weird. You know what I'm talking
the
about?
last touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, the 2-point.
No, not the last one. The last one was weird too, but the one where like
the 2-point conversion to tie it up, where he barely made it over the line, and they called it good.
Did he make it over the line?
Well, he did because he got 2-point conversion, so it tied the game up.
I just thought it was weird because don't your feet have to be on the other side? It's just the ball. What was that?
No, the ball's got to be. I don't know. I'm talking the wrong guy here. I don't know. They called it good.
The ball has to be in the end zone before the knees go down. They can't have come down on their knees. And that was the thing they were talking about with the last touchdown, because now I'm seeing photos like his knees were down and the
Falcon Struthers.
I don't. Well, first of all, they were at like the 2-yard line with like 3 downs to go or something. They would have scored still, but I don't know. We're gonna have Falcon Struthers.
All right, so off the game.
Off the game. No, let's get to the other things about the game. Lady Gaga. Let me tell you what. I love Lady Gaga.
She knows how to put on a show.
Lady Gaga, and that's the thing. Like, I'd always thought some of her songs were a little catchy, and this is years ago now. I ended up watching that HBO concert years ago that she did, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, she is putting on a show.
Yeah, she's
a theater girl.
I couldn't believe that she was singing that music live. Yeah. She had to do some really insane moves in order to do everything that she was doing in that show, and the fact that she didn't, like, her voice didn't give out, she sounded great.
Yeah. Well, she's got a great voice. That's the other thing that I think people, because she's because she does so many like quote unquote weird things.
Yeah, but she was hanging from a thing and flipping. Like, that's not easy.
No,
you can't just sing nicely while you're hung in wires.
Because she's wearing a tight harness too.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how. I think they're dismissive, like, oh, she wore a meat dress. She can't really sing. It's just a. But then it's like,
that was that whole tour she did with Tony Bennett. She can sing. She sings well, but it's not just the ability to sing. It's the physicality of it all. It's dancing around and in the high-heeled spiky boot, shiny boots. It's
she
dancing.
plays the piano. She does it all.
She's getting
Did
thrown around.
you see that she did it all on The Simpsons in 2012, and she was basically in a harness in that episode, and they basically just recreated it for the Super Bowl?
Now, here's a fun fact about Lady Gaga is she was in MTV's Boiling Points as a victim. Did you guys ever watch?
No, I did not.
But she was also an extra on The Sopranos.
Really?
Yeah. There's an episode where the kids, AJ's friends, they break into like the high school and they like trash the place, and she's like one of the girls hanging out with them. Just hanging out with AJ.
I just hope that one day she retires gracefully, unlike Madonna, who keeps coming back with more plastic surgery and more saggy bits. And I want to remember the old Madonna, not the current Madonna.
But you know what I think Lady Gaga has set herself up for with the Tony Bennett stuff, and also being a terrific piano player, that as she grows older, she might do just more stuff like that.
She'll do like get her residency, get her show.
It's more low key, kind of,
So everyone was concerned that the Lady Gaga, was it going to be anything political? Was it going to be? And it was, first of all, it was strange in that there were no surprises, no guest stars, no cameos. It was just a straight-ahead Gaga performance. And yes, it was fabulous and bright and very queer, but there was nothing explicit about it that... I don't know if she was playing safe to keep the NFL happy, or if that's what, or maybe
I think it's just
because the NFL has a lot of control. Yeah, but also
and
the NFL has a lot of control over those shows.
Yeah, but
too.
she's a pro. This is a job. Well, I mean, it didn't stop Beyonce for doing a whole
that was in a different era
power thing.
Yeah,
that which I had no problem with the year before. But
they needed anything to like fix the Chris Martin.
Yeah, why would
selection.
you ever have Chris Martin doing your show when you could have a Lady Gaga or somebody like that? Because one, she adds energy, and two, quite frankly, there's sex appeal to it too.
But people are actually reading into her set list as a story. There's some people saying that at the beginning of the election is God Bless America, and then I'm on the Edge of Glory is Hillary almost being there. Born This Way is, where America is evergreen, you're black, I'm white, we're all working together. And Telephone and Just Dance is where Trump pretends to choose not to hear messages. And then A Million Reasons is Hillary.
This is really over-determined.
Yeah, this sounds like bullshit to
I've just read a whole bunch of things of people making up stories from what it meant.
These are literally just her hit songs.
Yes, that's true.
But you know what? The same way they turn ABBA songs or the Four Seasons songs, they like string together some like shitty plot out of them.
Yeah,
well, you know what?
This isn't exactly Mamma Mia.
The very first musical I saw on Broadway was Smokey Joe's Cafe which was a Lieber and Stoller review. And I didn't know what a review was. And I come out at intermission and I said to my mum, I'm just not sure exactly what's going on, but I think this girl was dating this guy and now he's dating this person. And my mum says, Stephen, there's no story. It's just song after song after song. But I had made up a story in my head based on these characters and who I thought they were when I didn't realize there was no story.
You would have been very confused by Songs for a New World.
Yes, indeed.
Hey,
The
maybe-
Terrence Malick movie?
Songs for a New World. No, it's a William Finn. No. Jason Robert Brown, his
musical.
first musical.
Maybe get Lady Gaga to be in when Game of Thrones the musical hits Broadway. She'd
be a great Circe.
Oh, that'd be
Yes,
good.
yes.
I'd go to that
Little
show.
Daenerys.
Oh, you go to that
She
one?
could bring her own dragons.
I would watch her as Daenerys.
God, hot take.
Let me tell you what. I watch Lady Gaga do anything. I love her. I think she's great.
Did you like her in American Horror Story?
I like
In Golden Globe winning American Story, Horror Story?
She shouldn't have won an award for
No.
it, but she was fine in it, and she was sexy in it.
I
I guess that was the point. Yes.
All right, on to the commercials. The
Yeah,
most
speaking
important
of-
thing of all this.
Speaking of things that
Trying to keep us moving along.
also got speaking of things that also have gotten dissected a lot, the commercials did have a theme of like we're all
in this together.
yeah, unity and like togetherness, which it's a little sad we live in a political climate where that's controversial. But
Don't drink Budweiser.
apparently it is. Apparently the story of the man who invented Budweiser is controversial for people who drink Budweiser. I mean, what do you make of all that?
I don't know that I know what you're talking about. I apologize. I don't. I that might have been at a point during the game where I
Oh,
wasn't.
that's okay.
I was too busy watching Stranger Things and Guardians of the
That was
Galaxy
my-
2.
Yeah.
I
But
was
There
so
were a
psyched for
series
Stranger
of
Things.
commercials from like Coca-Cola and Budweiser and a fucking lumber company where they're
yeah.
all like about immigrants and immigration.
Oh, yeah.
The Anheuser-Busch
yeah.
commercial was like a Czech guy coming over on a boat and having a couple of missteps,
Yes.
some setbacks. Finally gets to America, makes his way to St. Louis, and meets some German dude in a bar. Like, no, we're gonna drink this now. And he's like, "Hello, my name is Anheuser. My name is Bush," and they shake hands. And then everyone's like, "Boo! They're pushing immigrant stories down our throats."
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think that's great. You
Yeah.
should totally.
Yeah.
Look, they're just trying to relate to the audience right now, and this is what's on the audience's mind.
Well, also these Super Bowl commercials are planned and filmed many months
Remember
in advance.
2
too.
years ago when every Super Bowl commercial was about death, somebody dying,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
a disease? This was a little better than that.
There was that with little kid in the commercial, like,
Yeah.
and that's how I died. And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, you
are
know that they
doing?
replayed that Coca-Cola commercial where it has people, singing what was it, "God Bless America" or
Yeah.
"America the Beautiful" in different languages. God help us if that commercial had premiered this year.
Oh my god.
Would have everyone at this point was like, "Oh right, that thing." you
I'd
know?
like to buy the world a Coke
Yeah.
in perfect harmony.
What commercial stood out for you then? What was it?
That
what
wasn't a movie preview.
Oh. I was gonna say Stranger Things season
we were
2. That's
looking-
not a movie preview.
We were looking at a Tide commercial because co-writer and director of Game of Thrones musical, Stephen Christopher Parker, filmed a spot for Tide, but he got cut from the commercial.
Oh.
Well, but there
didn't
was a
make
The Terry
commercial
Bradshaw one, where he goes running and trying to get. He ends up at.
Jeffrey Tambor.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
Jeffrey Tambor, yes.
There was a commercial that I really I forget, was it an M&M's commercial? Somebody turned into something. I think it was I know what my favorite commercial was. I liked watching Albert Einstein play Born This Way on violin.
Yep.
That was really
There
cool.
you
Which was a
Yeah.
commercial for a mini-series about him coming out on the National Geographic Channel
Yeah.
later this year. The Bye 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 commercial, Christopher Walken and Justin Timberlake, was fantastic.
That was pretty good.
I'm always a fan.
I
of
don't
Justin
know what that
Timberlake.
product is.
Don't
though.
remember.
But I know that it was fun seeing Walken and
Yeah, usually in the last second of the 30-second spot, they say, it's a car.
Yeah.
Buy this car.
Well, our running joke was that every commercial was for a tampon. Now, to be fair, we were at a viewing party that was predominantly women. So,
that's how I watched the Super Bowl.
yeah. A lot of female energy. Well, to
That's
keep
a
your
good way to
raging
watch it.
masculinity in check.
I thought the Melissa McCarthy one with
That's the one I
Kia
was thinking of.
commercial
The
was-
Eco Warrior.
Yeah.
Why did I think she turned into an M&M? She doesn't.
That's Snickers.
She turns
and Snickers,
into
they
a-
turn from celebrities into people.
She turns into a press secretary.
She's on a roll this week with her SNL guest spot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're upset about that over in the Trump.
Oh,
White House.
SNL's mean now. Oh, shut the F up.
All right, I gotta ask you super fast. Does Australia think we've all lost our goddamn minds?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah, we're going to war with your country. I
Oh,
forgot.
now, the whole immigrant thing. But, I mean, it's like, they made another joke on SNL. Now everyone knows the Prime Minister's name in Australia, Malcolm Turnbull.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't know what the hell's going on over here.
And they're like, what the fuck do we do? How is this our
On
problem?
election day, my mother called and said, if you want, I can put another story in the house if you want to come back.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the movie previews.
Yeah.
I am so excited for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes, my friend is in that.
Oh.
My buddy Luke Cook plays one of those gold men that you saw in the trailer.
Okay.
Oh, another Aussie.
Another Aussie,
Yeah.
Luke Cook.
But here's the thing. I was going to see Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
anyway. This preview. I mean, I'm going to see Logan anyway.
Yeah.
Do they just drop an extra mil because it's tax write-off? Or
No,
just
just
so they
get,
But I
get
mean-
you hype.
conversation?
But I mean, maybe average Joe doesn't realize.
You mean Joe Football?
Here's the thing. We've known there was a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 forever.
Since Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
But there might be some guy watching the Super Bowl in Arkansas who goes, Guardians of the Galaxy 2? I didn't know they were making another one.
Well,
I
it
mean,
also,
there probably is.
It's also great because from what I understand about that trailer is they're only using footage from like the first 5 minutes or something.
Good, I hope
because
so.
they don't want to spoil anything, which I think they should do
unlike
for
the Logan
everything.
trailer, which seems to spoil the entire movie.
Yeah, totally.
But it still looks good. Well, let me ask you this then, since you brought it up, Steven. Was there a trailer that you saw that like, oh, I am in on this movie? Like, were you previously maybe like, fucking another Pirates movie, and then all of a sudden you see the Pirates trailer
You're
and
like,
you're
fuck it, another Pirates movie.
I'm
filmed
over
in
the
Australia.
Pirates. Well, this
I
was
liked
the first,
that trailer.
This was the first pirate movie with Johnny Depp in it, because if you look at all the trailers for the other movies, he's not in it.
Yeah.
They just mentioned Jack Sparrow.
You mean in for number 5?
For number 5, he hasn't been in any of the teaser trailers, so this is the first. But we know what he looks like. We know who
Well, at
he
least when
is.
he's covered in mud or poop in this one.
Isn't
so-
Orlando Bloom set to return?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the.
I think the
Javier Bardem is the bad guy.
I think the dirty little secret of this movie is that Jack Sparrow's not in it all that much.
If Orlando takes the lead.
What makes you think that?
Because
we can talk offline.
somebody might have mentioned that. So somebody in the production might have mentioned
Is
that.
it so bad? He is, after all, an alleged wife beater.
Well, also he's single-handedly trying to destroy Australia's ecosystem with his strategic canine immigration program.
Yes, he illegally brought dogs down under.
They were going to kill the dogs.
Well, there are rules. We're going to build a wall around
This is
Australia
what
so
happens when
dogs
you're a
can't get
former
in.
prison colony. They don't fuck around.
And you brought it up, Stranger Things,
Oh
too.
man, I think that looks great. I can't believe they're teasing it this early though.
Oh, they're
Halloween.
so smart.
I assumed it would be in July, like the last one was. And then when I saw October, I was like, what the fuck?
No, this
I'm
is so smart because they're
curious.
treating it. It's on the same level now as Fast and the Furious, Pirates of the Caribbean, Transformers. Are saying Netflix is like all in on this and it's like this is our next thing, and we're gonna get you hyped up early and we're gonna get you excited for this. And I think it's brilliant.
It looks fantastic. And also,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys, just a little inside fact that I just saw on Nerdist News, the Eggo commercial that's played at the very beginning, that actual commercial ends with the little boy talking about a giant monster. That commercial. The actual commercial.
I'm going to go look up that
I can't wait until that girl turns 12.
11.
Ew.
That was I didn't mean to be sick. I was actually making a numbers joke there.
Okay.
Well,
Well, that went over well.
let's move on from that. And, we as we kind of mentioned, like, and we've been talking a lot about on this show, unfortunately, politics has really seeped into pop culture. Like, I feel like we can't go a second without talking about Trump, even here, and even at the Super Bowl. It's been tough. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone is really fired up about it. But whenever a celebrity, who also happens to be a human being, mind you, speaks out, they're immediately shut down by social media. They're like, who cares what you think? You're only a dumb actor, singer, writer, comedian, whatever. You know who isn't speaking out? You know who's kept their mouth shut this entire time? Taylor Swift. And now here's the problem. Everyone is shitting on poor Taylor Swift because she doesn't want to be political. They said she needs to speak up that she's being a bad feminist. Taylor Swift, bad feminist. All these people love Taylor Swift. Now, because Taylor Swift hasn't said anything about politics, they're like, fuck you, Taylor Swift, you're no feminist. No matter what she does, she can't win. Because now finally she comes out and says, Yeah, no, I don't like Trump. All of a sudden they go, we gotta burn her CDs. We have to boycott Taylor Swift.
Is that because...
You know what? Maybe she's just not a political person. Maybe she's got as much right to not be political as other people have to be political. And you know what? That's why you, the awful, clamoring, never happy, never satisfied Taylor Swift fans of this week's Enemy of the Podcast, go fuck yourselves. Leave this poor woman alone. Let her not be political. Maybe she doesn't care. Maybe she just doesn't care that the country's going in the toilet, and that's her prerogative, people.
So you're joining her squad, is what you're saying.
I am joining that. You know what? I want to live in her squad. You know why? Because I don't have to worry about all this bullshit. Because I just have to worry about pleasing Taylor Swift.
I thought that the reason people were upset with her was mainly because she didn't march in the Women's March.
Why should she have to march in the Women's March?
I don't know. I'm just pointing
Maybe
it
she's
out.
very old-fashioned. Maybe she did. Maybe she.
I didn't march in the Women's March, but I was rehearsing for Game of Thrones the music.
Yeah.
I march in the Women's March for Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Look, she's Taylor Swift.
At the end of the day,
I don't know.
all we know is at the end of this, she's going to write a song about it, and it's going to make millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. This isn't gonna hurt her.
There is that other weird thing that she's like this Aryan symbol, sex symbol.
that's the side. That's the side plot.
That,
on this.
online, it's like all like the Nazis love her.
Really?
Oh, well, she's Tadoff Switler.
Well, no, because she looks like a because she looks like a blonde Aryan princess.
She does. She's exactly what Adolf.
She's got a lot of chic's appeal.
Yeah. Well, we know there was those memes going around with pictures of her and quotes that were meant to be Taylor Swift quotes, but they turned out to be Hitler quotes.
Oh my god.
I mean, let me ask you this: as Alex is the star of Game of Thrones, the musical, do you feel that celebrities have a responsibility, though, to speak up? Like, do you think as someone that like young girls admire, someone like Taylor Swift should speak out?
I think that if she wants to speak out, she should speak out, and if she doesn't want to speak out, she should not be vilified.
Well, that's the right, normal human answer.
I think that her job is not to be a politician, and it is not to be somebody. Her job is to entertain and to make catchy tunes.
Right, but that's the same argument that they turn when a celebrity does speak up. Then that's the exact argument they made. Your job is not to speak up; it's to be an entertainer, not to have an opinion.
But she doesn't have. But that's in addition, because she's just a citizen of the United States. She should do that if she wants to. Nobody has to be. I know people who aren't. I know people who don't give a shit about what's happening.
Well, thanks to Twitter, anyone can say anything now. It just so happens more people will watch Meryl Streep say it.
But I'll bet you also that Taylor Swift is better off in the long run not saying anything, because somebody is going to get upset by what she says, no matter what it is.
And let's face it, we know where Taylor Swift stands on this.
Do we?
We know. She's not some right-wing nut.
Maybe she is.
She's good friends with Lena Dunham.
So?
I don't know. I mean, and also how does it legitimize anything? Like, it doesn't illegitimize or legitimize any of your beliefs because she shares them.
And it also doesn't change whatever art she creates is, because I mean, we were talking about this the other day. Like, I love seeing John Voight pop up in a movie. I love seeing James Woods pop up in a movie. I find their politics reprehensible.
Is James Woods a Trump supporter?
Oh, he's like insane
I didn't know
Trump
that.
supporter. He's extremely right-wing.
All we know with the Taylor Swift thing is that Teen Vogue has made an editorial decision not to feature her on any covers anymore.
Have they really?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know what she told Teen Vogue?
What?
Shake it off.
All right.
So I always like to end on a weird note, and this caught my eye. Especially speaking of the Middle East.
Were we?
Yeah, anytime we're talking about anything political, we're also speaking of the Middle East. A Saudi prince flew on Qatar Airlines flight with 8 Raptor Falcons.
No, 80.
80. You wrote 8.
Well, listen, you got to read between the lines. I don't know what I wrote because I don't have a printout.
You wrote... A Saudi prince flew on Qatar Airlines.
I'm not editing that out.
With 80 Raptor Falcons. Apparently, falconry is a big sport in the United Arab Emirates, and he bought seats for all his falcons. There were falcon passports being issued. Special falcon passports. This is to combat illegal falcon trafficking. the birds would have been allowed to land in the U.S. with no problems because they are green card holders.
Yeah.
The falcons.
Yeah, they do. And this apparently is not an uncommon thing where around the United Arab Emirates, there's always like birds on planes, and they take them around, and they have their own paper so that they can track, because they steal them, and because they're very expensive animals. So,
and if you haven't seen the photo, it's ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
That's the kind of fucking flight I would end up on, though. With like, I'd be sitting next to a falcon.
You're like, I'm going to Idaho. Why is this a thing?
Could you imagine if you got on a plane and then it's like a fucking falcon sitting next to you?
Just waiting to claw your face off.
Nightmare. I get annoyed if there's like someone with like, I got my little dog here. I'm like,
On a real side note, my new favorite area in Los Angeles is the baggage claims area at LAX, because everyone flies with an emotional support animal into LAX, and these poor dogs have been cooped up on planes for 6 hours, and they're scared and they're tired and they're just messed up in the head, and it's just like a dog fighting rink right there. The dogs start tearing at each other. I've seen so many dog fights at LAX now because these dogs just go insane on each other.
Wait, the emotional support dogs fight each other at LAX?
Because they're not emotional support dogs. They're just dogs that have been sitting on a fucking plane for 6 hours.
Anything could be. You know, I saw a fucking person with an emotional support kangaroo in Wisconsin. Do you remember that story? Someone brought a kangaroo into McDonald's and said it was their emotional support.
Steven's not fighting this dog.
He's just like stealing cheeseburgers and putting them in his pouch. You know?
There was the
Every
woman,
time he hops, a fry flies out.
There was the woman who flew with the turkey. She's like, this is my emotional support turkey.
My brother's dream is always to have an emotional support penguin. He just wants to roll up in the club with a penguin on
That
the
I can
leash.
see.
You know what? Here's the thing about the emotional support penguin. And I've maintained this, and this is why penguins are the best animals. I've always maintained this. If I had a pet penguin, let's say I was at my lowest and I'm like, I gotta end it now. I gotta kill myself. And I'm sitting here at the table and I got the gun ready. I'm gonna kill myself. If I see that penguin waddle into the room, I'm gonna have a smile on my face. He's gonna say, there's nothing better than a penguin waddling around.
On that note.
And on that note, Stephen, Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
One more time, plug away.
Come see Alex in GOT, the musical, February 10th onwards in Westeros, Hollywood, GOTthemusical.com, at GOT and all your social media outlets.
And feel free to check me out, Alex Lewis, at I Ate a Thumbtack or Lou Burger, LouBurgerComedy.com.
He has a great video called Puppies in This Club, which speaks to your penguins theory.
Emotional support puppies.
All right.
Sean.
You can find me on all forms of social media at Deshaun David, except for... Nope, it's Deshaun David. I don't want you to find me on Snapchat. I don't need that crap.
Can we find you on all forms of social media? You know, I've been tweeting at you and you're not responding.
I'm reading it.
Go fuck yourself.
Glasnost. I'm slowly finding my way back on.
You're going to be the enemy of the podcast soon. I think you were, actually. Once before. You can follow me on Twitter at The Real Will Link. And I'm going to be on Drunk Monkeys Radio podcast.
There you go.
They're going to bring me on to talk about the Oscars, which, guess what's happening here next week? We're talking about the Oscars.
There we are.
It's just me and Sean. It's everyone's favorite episode of the year.
And we tell you how to bet so you can win your Oscar pool.
Yeah. Safe bet, just bet La La Land everything.
No, not everything.
But let's face it, if you bet La La Land everything, you'll probably do all right in your pool.
All right.
And then the week after that, another returning champion. We've had a lot of returning champions.
We got to find some new champions.
Jonathan Bradley Welch
Yeah.
is coming back on. He used to be a comedic storyteller. Not anymore.
Now, what's he do? He sells things on the side of the road.
He's after the election. He's given it all up to fight the good fight, and he started a new podcast called Big Blue to Do, which is it's about comedians talking about
politics.
I guess, how terrible Trump is.
Sounds good.
So this will be a good episode for everyone.
Comedians eating pancakes talking politics.
Yeah.
Steven, Alex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And Steve, we'll see you later this year.
We'll see you in Westeros and we'll see you after the Emmys, boys.
Sounds good. And for the Little Sean Podcast, I'm Sean David.
I'm Will Link.
We're finished.
We're finished.